Hey everybody, welcome back to the Carryandcut YouTube channel. And if you're new here, I really do appreciate you stopping by and watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, also leave a comment down below. It really does help out the channel, and I love interacting with everybody out there. So you guys might remember this knife. It's already been on the review table one time already, but this is the Lanyard Man. This is Stephen Weigel's Dead Reckoned Knives Ridgeback. So this is a really cool knife that has a really cool backstory now, that is for sure, at least for me. I know him and my channel as a whole. So Steven went to Blade Show, Texas, and he met up with the Dead Reckoned Knives guys over there. And it is super cool. I think I said in my last review of this knife, they are actually located here in my home state. So they're somewhat local to me. And it was a really cool thing. They ended up talking. And yeah, I was able to get some, more information on this knife. And I was actually able to head over to their manufacturing facility, which was a really cool thing for me. So I'm going to try to keep this thing the most unbiased as I can, but at the same time, I want to shed some light on their company as a whole, and just, they are, I don't want to say a hidden gem in the knife community, anything like that, because they're a super well-known brand at this point in time, and they do some really incredible work, and it just really opened my eyes up to, some really cool people in the knife community in general. So I was able to meet up with Bo over there. He's one of the owners of Dead Reckoned Knives, and he was able to show me the whole process and how these things are made, and it is a really just eye-opening experience to be able to see these machines working and all the cool stuff they have in there. And I mean, these, when we talk about being almost 100% made in USA, they almost make everything in-house in their manufacturing facility. So the only thing that they are not making is actually the bearings and the spring. And of course, those are two really pivotal parts of this knife at the same time. But everything else, you're looking at the blade, the handle, the hardware, the pocket clips, everything that goes into this knife, the bushing, the actual pivot itself, everything is made, here in the States at their manufacturing facility in Ohio. So it's kind of a really cool thing, and it's got some hometown pride, I guess you could say, to me. It's just an awesome experience. So I really do want to say thank you, big huge shout out to Bo over there, Dead Reckoned Knives, for showing me around, and of course Steven for setting this whole thing up. Pretty much, it's kind of crazy how everything kind of fell into place, and I was able to come in contact and meet with these guys. So before we get into it, I know I was really kind of confused on how this whole knife worked, and it was just kind of almost seemed like some wizardry going on the inside of this thing, because you think of an integral button lock. How is that supposed to work? Like, how are you actually supposed to be able to get into that knife, or how do they even put it together? It was just a big, question in my head that I just couldn't wrap my head around. I remember staring and looking at this thing and looking at this actual, bushing, and saying, how in the world is there even supposed to be anything that, comes in contact with the blade tang or anything like that? So one of the big things I had was the bearings. And of course, this is a, press fit together construction of some sort. So the tolerances are super high on these knives. They said they actually did back them down just a little bit, just for smoother operation and stuff like that. And so these bearings, if you guys have ever seen like a skateboard bearing, of course, this is it's a sealed stainless steel bearing, and it looks, similar to like what a skateboard bearing would be to me. Of course, most of your caged bearings would look like on a normal knife. Any other normal, ceramic ball bearings or whatever kind of ball bearings they are, you can actually see the bearings themselves. They're laying on a flat disc, whether it be brass or steel or, some kind of nylon or something like that, and it has the individual balls sitting on it like that. Well, I imagine this is somewhat kind of the same scenario, but these are actually a sealed bearing. Sorry about that. And it really reminds me of a skateboard bearing. So those are press fit in to each side of the knife right there, each side of the handle, I guess you should say. And then, of course, your bearing slides into that, your bushing, the pivot slides through there, of course, just like any other pocket knife. But the really cool stuff happens when you get actually into this bushing right here. So into that bushing, there is just the bushing slides in, holds the spring in place, and then the button on top of that. And once you actually have that in there, you can actually, use the knife as, freely as you want to. So it's just, it's really cool. I know I'm missing a whole bunch of stuff in there, and it's still kind of crazy to me. He actually showed me assembling a couple of these things, and hopefully I'll be able to get back in there again and be able to see some more stuff, because it was really cool. And I also did want to mention there are two other blade shapes that they have too. They have, of course, this worn cleaver. I think that's what this one's actually called. It's, really interesting, kind of funky looking blade shape. But they also do have, it kind of reminds me of like a reverse Tonto in some shape or way. It's got like a lot of belly on it, but it also has like kind of like a tip like a Benchmade 940 would have. And then they have kind of a thinner, you know, as in blade height, like a thinner drop point blade shape at the same time. So they do use a 7075, I think it's what it was, yeah, 7075 aluminum. Yeah, 7075 T6 grade aluminum on this, so it's a high strength aluminum, higher than most other aluminum handles. At least that's what they explained to me. And they do use a Type 3 hard coating on their actual handles themselves. So that brings me to a good point of why, another reason why I went there. This knife is pretty much completely rebuilt, and they stand behind their warranty, you know, 100%. They even knew that this was a secondhand knife. Steven actually bought this obviously off the secondhand market, and they had no problems whatsoever actually going through this thing. They put their upgraded sorry about that, upgraded pocket clip on it. There was a little bit of a chip missing off the anodizing right here, and they actually put a whole new handle on this thing. They put new bearings in it. It's pretty much a whole entire new knife other than the blade, and they actually did do a little bit of modifying the blade to you know, make the action somewhat better. So that's a whole other thing. There really is no detent system, I guess you will, if you want to call it that, on this knife. It's all about how the spring and the blade comes in contact with that bushing in there is what makes the actual detent. You know, they steepen or lessen the angle of that, and hopefully I'm not giving out too many trade secrets or anything right there, but just a really cool, you know, I can't say enough good things about those guys over there. Something that stands behind their product, of course, is made local to me. I'm trying to stay, you know, unbiased as I can on something like this, because it was just, you know, I was really nerding out when I went into their manufacturing facility and got to see what actually makes those knives tick. But I mean, even the blades and the bevels, these things are, you know, cut on a CNC machine, and that is sharpened and everything. So it is just really awesome, American made, high fit and finish. You know, they're striving for excellence over there, and they want to give you guys a really good product at the same time. So, and I did, of course, they do have the aluminum handles. They got the titanium handles, and they also I never seen this until I just went over there. They actually do have a carbon fiber handle variant too, and it was some of the coolest stuff. But it wasn't actually a integral carbon fiber. It was two-piece, but there's only one body screw holding it all together. So, of course, other than the pivot and everything else like that, but there was only one screw sandwiching the two halves, and of course, with the lines of the carbon fiber, you couldn't even see any sort of sandwich line, anything like that. So it was really awesome. The knife that Bo had, it was just, I can't even say enough good things about it. It was just kind of mind-blowing to me and very revolutionary. I feel like I know there is some other integral button locks out there now, but they're far and few between in the price range. As you know, if you want to call it the Snore, I think it was the I don't know if it was the Snore. I think that's the name of the actual knife. I don't think that's the name of the company, but they make an integral button lock, and it is of course astronomically priced. These are definitely of course they're not cheap by any stretch of the imagination, but at the same time, you know, they're attainable, I guess you should say, and they take a lot of pride in their work, and it just is really awesome that they were able to let me in there to hopefully shed some more light on this. And I would love to get into a disassembly video here one of these days. I know they're working on some tooling and stuff like that, and we might be able to make something happen where I can be able to disassemble one of these knives and kind of show you guys the inner workings of this thing. And you know, it's not, I mean, it is a big deal. There's a lot going on inside here, but with the proper, you know, training and videos and stuff like that, it should not be a big deal to be able to take this thing apart. And of course, there isn't really going to be too much to clean. Like I said, the bearings are going to be sealed, and they should be working for years and years and years to come. And if they do get gritty or anything like that, you should be able to send them right back over to Dead Reckon Knives, and they'll be able to take care of it for you. But for the most part, if you want to clean some gunk out and stuff like that out of the actual pivot and do whatever else, then it wouldn't be a huge deal to be able to do that. But they actually did improve the flicking action of this thing, and it was, I don't want to say it was soft before by any stretch, but everything really just flies out now, and that reverse flick is just super satisfying. I cannot wait to send this thing back to Steven, and I just know he is going to be stoked on this knife. So yeah, great guys, great people, great company. Can't say enough good things about them. If you guys have any questions, if I missed anything, please feel free to leave it down in the description below. Hopefully this wasn't too much of a fanboy kind of thing or anything like that, but I just wanted to shed some more light, and if I missed some things in the previous review, I just wanted to try to clarify some things here and show you guys actually somewhat of what's going on, what their other offerings would be. So hopefully here in the future, we're going to be able to maybe get another model on here and be able to show you guys some of the other blade shapes or something like that, and kind of show you the inner workings of this knife. So I really do appreciate it. Of course, Steven, Dom, really do appreciate it. And then same thing with Bo, everybody over there at Dead Reckon Knives. Hopefully get to meet your business partners one day and go from there. But I really do appreciate it. We'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you.